Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Master League meta, the Open Master League meta that we're going to have here for another week and a half before the end of the season. I just wanted to go over my Legend run. I haven't played very many metas this season. I haven't liked a lot of this season, but with Open Master League coming back and me being the Sylph Factions Master League person on our factions team, I decided to do this, and I actually gained over 400 points with this team. I went from 27, I guess it was 350 points. I went from 2773 to 3122, and now I didn't record all of those games, but there's the team right over there. But I did record all the games from 2960 to about to the end of it, 3122. I did, like I said, 350 points in 2 days. So I just wanted to go over this team. It was Dialga in the front. I do have a best buddy, Dialga. The IVs are right there as well. Not everything's a hundo. And then I have Kyogre and then safe swap Landorus. Now, it's not always safe swap Landorus, but for the most part it is. Let's go ahead and get into the games. But if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. Hopefully next season is a little more fun and I can put out some more videos. So, Dialga Mirror, I like to stay in this matchup. Oh my goodness. I guess I left that game in, but okay, Melmetal in the lead, actually really bad for us. They actually end up deciding to stay in. You can take 2 of these rock slides pretty easily. The third one KOs, and then they do come in with a Giratina, so that's not great for us. But 2 of these Stone Edges actually does KO as well, so you can manage this however you want. If they do throw Shadow Ball, then you can beat them to the second one, which means you're going to get shield advantage. And then you can always farm this down with Dialga to get a bit of a lead there anyways. So the main point against the Melmetal lead is to try to get to a point where you can actually Draco Meteor it. But at level 50, it doesn't even do that much. You saw right there, I was going to switch to Kyogre, but it's actually not the greatest idea because I need to get one of these off and not save the energy. Because then I can get stuck in the later game with a Draco, having to Draco it right away, and then being reduced attack because of the 100 energy cap. So they do come in Lugia. We are running Thunder on our Kyogre. It is useful to beat the other Kyogres, beat all the flying types. Shields down, so like Yveltal and Lugia is pretty good. But most of the time you're going to be using Surf. Sometimes you're going to need to bait the Blizzard, which is actually 10 waterfalls, just so you know. In a lot of these videos here, I actually go up to 9 because I didn't actually know that until today. Someone in my chat was telling me. I did actually stream on Twitch the last 2 days. So here we're just going to go for the big time farm down. Shield once. Usually this is going to be a bait. It is the bait. I almost called it, but decided not to even attempt it, and we do get the farm down there. So really tough lead there. Machamp, not a mon you really see a lot of, and this is a really tough lead for us here. They end up staying in. Landorus, while you do resist the counters, and you do resist the cross chop, you don't actually do a ton of damage to it, so because it does resist the Stone Edge. So I decided I'm just going to go for the superpower here, try to do some damage to this. They end up coming in with Tyranitar, also another mon you don't really see too much. Tyranitar is going to take double super effective from superpower, so they do end up shielding. It is, or they do end up shielding. It is a shadow, if you noticed. And even that this is the 3rd superpower, so you're already double debuffed, and it almost KO'd that Tyranitar. Their clock's actually a lot worse than ours here. I decided to shield the Kyogre just in case we need something for the back, but they're going to be stuck in this matchup until they get KO'd. So now I have 2 Mons against their last Mon, and they're pretty different Mon with pretty extreme coverages. Okay, Mewtwo lead. So what I like to do is go for the Iron Head straight away. You beat them by 1 turn to the... Well, this is definitely a Psy Strike. You beat them... Oh, it could be a Shadow Ball, actually. You do beat them to Focus Blast by 1 turn with the Iron Head. It takes them 9... oh my gosh, 9 fast attacks to get there. I'm going to let this go down, and I'm going to try to farm down with Kyogre. But they actually are going to get to another move. But I'm probably going to shield this. It actually does quite a bit of damage, something like 65%. Mewtwo is just a beast. I did play a team today with Shadow Mewtwo, and it was pretty good. They do end up coming in here with Hydreigon. The fact that they're not leaving means they're probably double weak to this in the back, so maybe something like Melmetal or maybe even Excadrill. Excadrill is another big pick that you see a lot. Way more than Melmetal for sure. They end up shielding, so I decided to go for the second one straight away. See if I can get this down and see what's in the back, especially shields down. This is going to be pretty nice. They do end up switching, and this is going to do a ton of damage to this. Plus, they can never farm us down, so they don't get too much energy here. They have to throw right away. You will win CMP as you are a legendary, and they're not. So usually you're going to be winning CMP against non-legendaries in a general sense. And then we go for the Surf here. Kyogre's got a ton of attack stat. I mean, Kyogre's just a big mon. So even though it's resisted, Hydreigon is a little bit on the squishier side as well. Dialga lead. So you can play this a million different ways. Sometimes, but very rarely, I just switch straight into Landorus and hope for the best. Most of the time, I go for the bait on the Iron Head. This is an Iron Head by them. But you can decide whether... Oh, it actually is Thunder. You can decide whether or not you want to shield that. If they do throw the move, I guess I'm just going to go for it here because I can always farm down with Landorus. But usually the matchup doesn't go like that. There aren't too many Kyogres, not too many Dialgas with Thunder. This Mewtwo with a ton of energy is really bad for us. We do get an extra move in there from some bad timing here by the opponent. But we really need the Backmon now to be... not Giratina. Usually there's a lot of times where it is Giratina here in the back, but it is possible that it's also something like Melmetal. Yeah, but it is Giratina, and this is probably over. Like I said, Stone Edge does a lot. Well, we do have a lot of HP on Kyogre still, and this Stone Edge is going to get it down pretty low. Should be able to get to the next Stone Edge. I don't believe this KOs, and if it does, it's definitely over. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely get to this Stone Edge. So we're actually in a pretty good position here, depending on the energy on Mewtwo, which I've forgotten at this point. But we should be able to get this close to Surf range, maybe after like 5. Maybe we'll have to throw after 4. Oh, we're throwing right away. This definitely doesn't KO, but it might be within 1 waterfall here. Oh, no, it's not. All right. Oh, no. All right, had a little cut in the recording there. Yeah, we lost this game, but I believe we went 4-1 in that set, and that was the set to get us to Legend here. So from 2977 to 3019. So Legend this season. It was a long season for sure, but hopefully this last week and a half isn't too bad. All right, Mewtwo lead. Like I said, I like to go for the Iron Head right away. You get there one turn before. They actually come in with Xerneas. Not too used to this mon. I know it has close combat, Moonblast, and I think Thunder, because I'm pretty sure we actually get Thundered here. Because I know that Kyogre is good in this matchup, but I was not prepared for a Thunder. And I'm pretty sure that this is the match where we get... Oh, no, this is a close combat. Okay. So I'm going to throw Surf right away. Well, we don't make it to there. And so I'm probably going to farm up a little bit here. Probably could farm down, but it's a little risky not knowing the counts for quick attack there. So definitely going to just let this come back into Mewtwo. I know I can do 3 waterfalls before they get to their move, and I want to do as much damage as I can to this Mewtwo. They do have to throw. Probably they could have gone a little further than this. Maybe they could have gotten to 2, but it would have been close. And yeah, we just get into this Melmetal here, and it's pretty good. Like I said, you don't have to worry too much about the rock slides. You can take 2 and live really comfortably, so don't throw the superpower until you absolutely have to. All right, Mewtwo. So like I said, Iron Head right away, if they'll allow it. And if you hear my computer like blowing up, I don't know what's happening over there, so just ignore that. Probably still worth shielding, although I don't think I've ever been Focus Blast. Oh, wow, we actually called it right there. So the thing is that 2 Side Strikes KO you anyways with all the... oh, this is a Shadow Ball. Actually, everything going absolutely perfect, except that Probably should have stayed in and just let it go down. Maybe farm up with Landorus. But, you know, getting the Giratina out here is not too bad. Probably shouldn't throw Surf right away. Probably should go all the way up to Blizzard. And if they throw their moves, they throw their moves. The Surf damage not going to be too consequential in the end. So really no reason to force it out there. This Giratina doesn't do very much damage, but it is neutral against everything. They ended up throwing right there, but I don't know if they thought we were going to shield. But we ended up going for the no shield. I think they got to 100 energy is actually what it was. And they didn't want to just farm all the way, which is okay. This doesn't KO us, and we should definitely go for the Iron Head. And we're really hoping that in the back is going to be something that Landorus can do well against. Togekiss in the one shield's not even too bad. We're just going to let this go. We're already decidedly all in on Landorus. So, yeah, here we come. Get a little bit of energy there. We know the Mewtwo is still up in the back, so that's going to be something scary. It is Excadrill. Remember, we can take 2 Rock Slides here. It is a little bit more scary on this Mon, but since they haven't thrown yet, I know I can go for the back-to-back, and it should KO either way. And now they pretty much knew it was over, so they just let us farm it down. All right, Groudon. Not something you see every day, and also not good for us. So I decided I'm going to try to catch an Earthquake. And I think I actually would have caught it, but I think they end up baiting here with a Fire Punch. Yeah, not very good for us. But, you know, we actually got a ton of damage and a lot of energy in a bad matchup. So imagine pulling out the Giratina here and then being able to bring Dialga in for some more farm is really good. If this is the Shadow Ball, it's because of the one-turn latency. I think Giratina wins CMP there. I'm not 100%. This Iron Head should bring it down pretty low, if not KO. Does KO. And then Groudon coming back, I probably have to shield this. And then I probably want to swap, or unless I'm just trying to get to this Iron Head to take a shield. And then I should definitely swap. Probably Dialga is going to be good again in the back, and this Groudon's getting super low. And we're kind of wanting to go all in on Dialga at this point, which is why I don't go for the no shield here. Ends up being a Dialga of their own. This is actually a really bad situation for me. Because they're just going to get a lot of Dragon Breath damage in on us. And they're at higher HP than us, so they could go for the full farm down here. That's definitely going to be GG in this game. I do throw the move, but we're definitely not going to shield. Just let this game go down. Groudon lead. I think that's the only time I ever saw a Groudon lead in the however many games of Master League I've played since the start of Master League, which is every game, so whatever that number is. So Zacian coming in. So in the beginning, I would just go for an Iron Head and then switch out to Landorus or Kyogre. But I found that actually switching straight into Kyogre was probably the best idea here. You win CMP, so they can never really back-to-back you if you come straight in. Unless they want to shield, and then you're fine going one shield to one shield, because in this situation, while, yeah, we did get low enough to not be pressured too bad, it is still not great being shields down here, because even though Dialga is a good matchup against Giratina, it still hurts the getting hit by the Shadow Ball, and yeah. So yeah, eating up the clock, doing a little bit of damage. Actually, the Surfs build up a lot here. So now I have to decide if I'm going to use my last shield. I decide I'm not going to, but like I said, the Shadow Balls are really going to add up. They do end up having Excadrill in the back. This is really good for me. Again, I guess if I just keep saying it, it'll get into y'all's heads. You can take the 2 Rock Slides. Just make sure to throw the Superpower as late as possible. Them throwing the 2 moves here is even better for me. I'm going to get so low that they're not going to get enough farm on the Excadrill. You can go up to halfway into the 3rd Superpower, and that means you're at 100 energy, which I am at 100 energy here. And we can decide, and even though I'm getting reduced in defense, they have Mud Shot, so it's not actually doing very much damage to me. And then we CMP them here on the 3rd, so they get fully KO'd. The timer's back up because we threw 5 moves in total across both of us, and yeah, the timer's back up, and we just get the easy farm down here. GG. All right. Dialga into Giratina A. So this is a good matchup, but it is a long matchup. I didn't know quite what this was at first. It is Genesect. I think I'm going to try to catch on Kyogre. Usually the Genesect is Frost. I don't know how you can tell, but I know that there is a way to tell which drive Genesect has. I'm just not sure of that myself. So if you can comment below, let me know if anyone knows. But most of the time, Genesect is going to be Frost because it is actually really good in this meta. It is a little squishy, and Kyogre is really good against it. So usually I would try to bait a Blizzard, but we're never going to make it. They're just going to farm us down anyways. So I'm going to do a little bit of damage, even though it's literally almost nothing, and then come back in Kyogre or Dialga. So they do come in with, I didn't see what mon it was, but I saw it was fairy typing. I get that move off, and yeah, I come in with Lando. So the really good thing about Lando against Zacian is Play Rough is the only move that hurts him. We resist close combat. We double resist. No, we single resist Wild Charge as well. So if that's all they have, then that's all they have. Probably it might be worth shielding here because I'm so close to the Stone Edge. Yeah, and I do end up shielding because we're probably going to get a shield back here. And Dialga doesn't really pressure shields too well. So getting shields down as much as possible here is a good idea. Not going to shield again. And probably just going to shield the first move and then just go for like the big time farm down because I don't think I'm actually going to get to 2 Iron Heads here. Even though Giratina A is just a massively bulky mon, the odds of us getting to 2 here, since we're throwing super effective fast moves, is really low. And that's a GG. So Iron Head, obviously really good against the fairy types, even though Dialga in general is very bad against Xerneas and Zacian. And then we got our Pika Libre for the season. But again, not a shiny. I've never caught a shiny Pika Libre. I think this is the 13th season, so I'm 0 for 13. I think it's the 12th season, but we had the one interim season that didn't count as a number for some reason, 10.5. And yeah, we just have not gotten there yet. So maybe next season. All right, we're at 3062. I have 2 more sets to show. Metagross lead. So this is really bad. I like to come in Kyogre here because I think that Landorus is a much better mon against it. They come in Dragonite, so I like going straight Thunder here against Dragonite. No reason to necessarily go for the Blizzard. Kind of just want to do as much damage as I can to this. And if they play it wrong, you can get to the Surf and win this matchup. Ooh, it's close. Oh, man. Maybe the perfect Kyogre would have lived there. So I decide that I'm going to come in Landorus. I assume they're going to Superpower, and I wanted to make sure that I catch on here. But they are going to make it to a Dragon Claw. So I do decide to shield, even though they are reduced 1 attack stat. And they end up coming in with Gyarados, which is a little odd because I can definitely come in Dialga and beat this after taking the shield here. The only question is, what do they have in the back? Right now they've had... Oh, it's the Metagross, right? So yeah, it's really weird to come in with Gyarados here now. I'm definitely just going to throw the Iron Head, even though it is resisted. Gyarados is not a legendary, so it's very squishy. And now I have Metagross against my Landorus, which is exactly what I want. Although I will say Landorus, not the best against Metagross because your superpowers are definitely going to get you low. Yeah, and I'm just a little too low here. They're definitely going to farm us down. I knew they were going to try to catch on the Dragonite, and then I was hoping that I could farm it down. But then I don't have the time to get my moves off anyways, so GG to our opponent. All right, Mewtwo, you know what that means. We're going Iron Head straight away. And to be honest, this... we did get caught on right there. That happens a decent amount of times. I would say something about 15% of the time that a Mewtwo's in, they do try to catch. Now, I did try to catch like a superpower here, but, it didn't work out. They're in range of getting superpowered at any point here. And like I said, they don't even do anything to us for the first 2. So I'm just going to let 2 Rock Slides come off here and go for the superpower when I'm near 100 energy. I'm actually 2 more mud shots off of 100, but I don't know if I have the count during this game or not, but at least while I'm retelling this right now, I definitely don't have the counts. So they might have been close, and I just didn't want to risk it. They do end up shielding. It was a CMP, except that Mewtwo wins CMP, so that's a weird one. Niantic game, I guess. I just throw the Iron Head straight away here. We can get the second shield. I really want this Dialga to live here, so I'm probably going to shield this. I want both of my Mon because they have such good coverage, and I don't want to lose them before knowing what that last Mon is. So this is a Psy Strike for sure, so I'm just going to take this because it's resisted. Oh, it's Shadow Ball. Okay. It's a Zacian. We have an Iron Head. We have Kyogre. This is GG. We technically live any move they throw here on Zacian. They do end up leaving, so you can decide whether or not you wanted to shield or not. I probably would have shielded. Kyogre lead. You don't see this too often either. Xerneas in the back. Usually this means Zacian in the very back, so that's something to keep in mind. Maybe this is the one I get thundered on. I only get thundered one time by a Xerneas, but I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't know this thing learned Thunder, because I just thought it would throw close combat here, or even, Play Rough or Moonblast, whatever it learns. So then I decided to just throw here. I don't know the energy that it's at, so I just want to win this middle matchup. They have shielded once, but we don't get there. And this is really bad. So I decided to come in Lando to farm down, because Thunder and close combat means that we resist everything that this does. And I just want to get as much farm as I can in against it. They do come in the Kyogre. I try to throw in good timing. I don't think that was good timing, actually. But anyways, and then I'm going to come in Dialga. It does end up being Zacian. And we have two shields and they don't. So I'm going to wait for them to throw so that we make sure that the Iron Head that does land is going to KO it. Because of that double debuff to defense. And still want to throw in good timing. They're probably going to shield this, and then we shield again, and then we Iron Head again. And then it's Kyogre at... What was Kyogre at? Like 35%? Yeah, they end up not throwing again, so GG, I guess. We're just going to shield this. This is definitely a Surf. But we're just going to take this out. Yeah, GG. Kyogre lead, again, really rare. So not something you see too much of. Dialga lead, on the other hand, very common. So like I said, I like to go to the Draco, but then I almost always throw Iron Head. I can't remember the last time I threw Draco. Kind of just getting it low enough at this point is pretty good for me. I can always come in Lando. I do want to win if I can, but you can see they have a Hundo Best Buddy just like us. And you know what? I already got the shield advantage. I'm not too worried about this thing. I will probably have to shield this Lando unless I wanted to throw there, which I would have won CMP. But I'm fine. I'm fine just taking the energy advantage here and hoping no Kyogre. Everything else is pretty neutral. Obviously, this is the worst case scenario, which is behind a lot of... Oh, it's even Giratina A. Actually, Giratina A probably a little better for us. No Shadow Ball chance to really mess us up. And we get all these extra stone edges in. And we really want this to land and really have a chance with Kyogre here in the end. And then I don't really have to shield anything. Kyogre's really bulky. Giratina A being bulky means it's actually not doing a lot of damage. And it ends up being a Groudon here in the back. They're almost for sure going to throw Fire Punch. It is Dragon Tail, so no way to get an advantage on the fast attacks. So I just decide to... go for it here. If they throw right away again, it means that it's a Fire Punch. I think I remember they did throw right away here. This is definitely a Fire Punch. And then I have the Surf ready for the Giratina A. I should win CMP. Only thing is, I probably could have gone for Thunder there. I'm sure one Thunder is a little bit more damage. But we do get the farm down, so... Zacian lead, like I said, I've played around a lot with this. Sometimes I stay in with Dialga, but it looks like I'm doing the method I like more here, which is to come straight in with Kyogre. And then I try to extend the clock time here, a little something we usually do in like Great League. If they allow us to stay in, I want to make sure that our clocks are a little weird. They do end up having Wild Charge, which is interesting. Lugia Lugia's tough. Very good generalist. Even this Thunder here only brings it to like, I think this does about 65. They do end up shielding. They actually are pretty low, so I guess that would have done a lot. At this point, I wish I had done double surf, but what can you do? Probably going to come in with Dialga. Yeah. Probably they're going to get an Arrow Blast off. Yeah, I play this really bad. You can see we probably CMP tied here. Oh, no, we didn't. But they get the attack raise, which is not good. But I think they're going to let this go, and then we're kind of all in on Lando. But it could be double flyer, and I'm really close to a move here, but I'm not going to chance it. I want to have a shield for the Landorus. They do have Wild Charge. And it's Yveltal. Stone Edge is not enough to KO this, but I know Stone Edge and Superpower is enough. So the question is, well, so if we resist Focus Blast and we resist Hurricane, so the question is, can we get to 2 before they get to 2? And I think we do. And then it's how low is the Mon in the back. I go for as much energy here as possible. I go to almost 100. Oh, I think we ended up CMPing here. And we don't get the double CMP. Yeah. This was a really close game. What could I have done? I could have thrown 1 sooner, maybe. And then 1 double CMP, but no. I would have had to throw 2 sooner and then 1 CMP. I don't know. That would have been... It was a close game, though. It was really close. All right, last set. Groudon lead. Not great. And this time I actually go straight into Lando. Like I said, this matchup's not actually even that good on either side. They can throw Fire Punches, which are neutral, but you can only throw Stone Edges, which are resisted, unless you're really feeling yourself, and then you can go for the Superpower. But that would be risky. So I decided I'm going to throw the extra move here. They let me get to a Superpower. Let me get this low. They might even shield if they don't know the count. I could double shield here if I really wanted to win switch, which I kind of do. Groudon does a lot of damage, and Kyogre can really deal with it. But being down 2 shields is kind of rough, so I decided I can get 2 superpowers off. But remember, we used 1 superpower against the Mewtwo, so these don't do as much as they could. We're already 1 attack down. Now we're going to go 3 attack down. We do get a shield, which is fantastic, and I actually get another superpower. I think this was actually CMP. Landorus actually has a really high attack stat. So getting some energy away from this Groudon is really good, but it is a Fire Punch, and that means they're probably super close to the Earthquake. This is almost 100% the Earthquake, but we're done with dealing with this. Maybe the thing in the back is really weak against Dialga. Ends up being a Dialga of their own, and I stayed in. Wait, I should have switched right away. Should have swapped right away. But to be fair, I don't think it would have mattered. Because they're going to go for the Draco here, but we're going to be way too low on Kyogre, and they're definitely going to farm us down. That's a GG. Maybe I could have switched straight into... I don't know. Maybe we could have just gone into Dialga right away and kept Lando. Anyways, into this game, Excadrill, I think... we just saw it, but I think it was Dragonite in the front. So Excadrill, remember, you can take the 2 rock slides. Just try to get as much energy as you can. This is actually CMP, so they'll probably shield, which means we have to shield. Unfortunately, we let this get a little too close. We should have gone for 1 more, let them throw first. But you know what? We're going to try to CMP them again. If they shield, we shield. And then we have the Stone Edge for the Dragonite, which is nice. But we are double reduced. The timing here is a little inefficient, but it's okay. I'm just trying to get the last of my damage off. I'm not going to get to another move anyways, since we've already double reduced our defense. This does have superpowers, so we need to make sure to shield just in case it is. And then we switch to Kyogre against the Metagross. Metagross probably can win this, but it's going to take 2 surfs. Which means it's going to be in range for Dialga to really KO this before it can get to this second Earthquake. Well, this has to go Earthquake, Meteor Mash, and then it has to go Earthquake onto Dialga. So it's definitely not going to be able to do any of that. So then the question becomes, did I let this farm too much? But we actually don't get KO'd by one superpower here, so it's not too bad of an idea anyways. The mirror. All right, you go up to... Oh, there's actually a big difference in CP, but they probably have 15 attack, and 14 defense, so probably doesn't matter. Actually, they're pretty low. They threw Iron Head straight away, but it made me think they wanted to win the matchup, so I decided to throw here. I probably actually could have gone a lot closer to 2 Iron Heads, but they do come in Melmetal. And remember, we can let them throw 2 Rock Slides into us. I'm not going to get baited into throwing a superpower, although we are very close to another superpower, or to 100 energy, in which case I do want to end up throwing here. But it means if they end up shielding and throwing in move, we probably are going to have to Melmetal a little less attack weighted than Excadrill, so we end up taking another one. I probably should have gone for 2 there, maybe try to go for a CMP, but this is fine as well. They actually go for another shield. I don't... Okay, now that it's superpowered, maybe we do KO it. Oh, they end up coming in Dialga, but we kind of wanted this to KO Dialga anyways. If they come back in Melmetal, we'll definitely come in Kyogre. Yeah, and they're going to be in the Surf range once we do all this waterfall damage. And then we get to see what's in the back. Kyogre probably going to be good against whatever's in the back, so probably going to want to Surf before they throw this move. Fortunately, they do throw the move. It is superpower, though, so we probably get to farm this down, and now we have double moves here. If it is a Kyogre, ends up being a Gyarados, which this Thunder is double super effective against, and I believe KOs in 1 shot. Yes. All right, is this the last game? I think this is the last game. All right, Mamoswine. Amon, you don't see much. I think I saw 1 other Mamoswine, so 2 total. I do come in this matchup because it's a little more abrasive to come in with Lando. They end up staying to go for a Bulldoze, so I decide I'm just going to throw the Surf, get the shield right away. And then I can decide whether or not... Well, since they wanted to keep this matchup, which is really horrific for them, I'm going to decide to shield here. And they do end up coming in with Garchomp, which, yeah, Kyogre's actually decent against Garchomp. Right now we're seeing double ground Mon. So, yeah, and they have Sand Tomb Outrage, it seems. Kyogre's just a beast. So, they can't really do that much. This is going to be a Sand Tomb, right? Oh, the first one was an Earth Power. We just got the defense drop. Gotcha. Okay, they come in Metagross. This isn't that good. But they do have to throw an Earthquake, which means that their energy is going to be lower when they decide to let this go. And they actually end up shielding there, which Draco would have done a lot, obviously. But it wouldn't have KO'd. I guess to their credit, they're running out of HP across their Mon. So now the question is, do you want to come in Kyogre? I do come in Kyogre. I'm close to a move. Plus, it can eat up a little bit of their energy if they want to throw the Meteor Mash into this. And they end up CMPing. That's fine with me. I was going to try to catch on Landorus anyways. But now we can go for the farm down. And we can just go for the superpower right away. It looks like they gave up or DC'd either way. I have a feeling they gave up because... No, I actually have a feeling they lagged out because they stopped attacking, then they swapped, then they still kept not attacking. Okay, Garchomp is a weird matchup. This is the Mudshot version. That was too quick to be an Earth Power, so this is a Mudshot Sand Tomb version, which is a little odd. The question is, do I want to take a second Sand Tomb, or do I want to come in Kyogre? I probably have to shield this, and then I just go for the farm down. Then I have a Iron Head against whatever comes in. Or if my 2 Mon are good in the back, we can just go for a safe swap into something. It does end up being Melmetal, so I do safe swap into Kyogre. And this is going to be a superpower and dip. Oh, maybe it's a Rock Slide and dip. Nope, they're just going to stay in. All right. Well, throw on odd numbers since you're at a 3 Oh no, you want to throw in even no, odd numbers. Yeah, what am I saying? Throw in odd number waterfalls so that you're at least doing things in good good energy wise. All right, they take us out, but we're gonna come in Lando and farm down, or we can come in Dialga, farm down. Ends up being a Tyranitar. So one of these superpowers will KO, even debuffed, and that's gonna be GG. All right, so those are the 4 sets for me getting to 31-22. And yeah, if you definitely aren't, if you're not at Legend yet, like I said, this team got me 350-ish points, probably a little more than that, to go from 2770 to 3122. And yeah, definitely try it out. It's definitely worth it. If not, I guess Elemental Cup's where you're going to be. And I did play a little bit of that today. It was okay. It was more fun than I thought it would be, but I like Master League a little better. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't, definitely subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I'll be coming out with more videos this next season. Yeah, I just hope the season's more fun this next one around. So I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for coming by.